Evening rockers. Vegas Rock got us here on the rocks. Total entertainment. Coming to you live from somewhere off the Las Vegas Strip. Today, I have an amazing band from New Hampshire, Prospect Hill. This band is rocking the East Coast. Great sound to this band, and we're going to get to know them tonight. So stay tuned. Man, hi, Mark.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
Oh, hold on one sec. I just muted you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Gotcha. How you doing?
good. Hey, thanks for coming on. Are we going to have anyone else?
Yeah, I believe Edgar is going to be popping on.
Okay, very
Let me,
cool.
let me check
Very
out where he's
cool.
at right now.
But welcome to On the Rocks. I'm live from Las Vegas,
Nice.
and your band is pretty amazing. I've been listening to your songs all week.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So we're gonna talk about a few songs here that are my personal favorites, and we'll get into with the
Oh, we
rest.
got we got Johnny jumping in too.
All
Awesome.
right. I see Johnny's in action there.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got his mic shut off.
Where are you located?
I'm located in Las Vegas.
You are in Vegas. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
I
Awesome.
live actually right off the strip.
Badass. I bet it's always exciting over there, huh?
Oh, yeah, lots going on here all the time.
I
Hey,
bet, yeah.
Johnny, thanks for joining us.
Good. Hey, how's it going?
Good. So,
Good.
hey, let's get started. I was telling Mark here, I'm a huge fan of you guys. I've been waiting to get you guys on. And
Nice.
uh, your music is really amazing. East Coast, man, props. I have a lot of friends in Baltimore area, and man,
Nice.
the East Coast right now is blowing up with rock. No,
Oh, here
no
we
lie
go.
to that.
We got it.
Yeah, for
We got,
sure.
we got
Yeah.
another we got Edgar jumping in right now.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the East Coast is definitely there's a lot of good rock coming out. There's a lot of it's in I'm involved too on the label services side with a ton
right,
of bands. And so it's funny how many independent artists are popping up on the East Coast that are actually starting to get some momentum. So it's cool to see.
it's amazing because I'm originally from Chicago, and
Oh, wow.
metal scene there in the '80s was crazy. Disturbed came from Chicago. I actually saw their first live show when they opened their tour. Uh, Man, back with their first record. So I'm a huge fan of Disturbed. Um,
That's cool.
Oh, that is
Chicago
cool.
has got some great underground metal bands right now too, that are coming. But the East Coast is standing out, man. I gotta say, props
Nice.
to the East Coast.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I think it's especially East Coast, Northeast, where we're
Right,
inspired by the cold, much like Chicago. It's a cold area, most of the year. So
right.
Right.
you get a lot of anger coming out of people here. They're pissed
Right.
off. They're going to shovel the pathway to their car and then dust
Yeah,
it
no
off.
kidding. Hey, I went through some of that too, man. Going to concerts, it's like 40 below zero, and you have to wait outside to get in a venue. Hey, man, that's not fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
worst.
Well, you don't have to worry about that now in Vegas, but definitely in Chicago.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Here, you got none of that here. Okay, we're waiting for Edgar to hop on here.
yeah. He's just kind of.
Hello.
Hey, Edgar, you
Can you guys
gonna?
hear me?
Yeah, can you
I
throw
can
your?
hear you, but I can't see you.
Yeah, I don't know how to get I'm old.
Just hop that, yeah, pop that camera on.
Yeah,
There's a little logo there.
Oh, there it
bottom.
is.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Hi.
We can finally see you. It's like you're in jail, dude. You got the
Yeah.
light going on. There you go.
Oh
Okay,
wait,
Yeah,
hold
maybe
on.
do
all right, there we
if
I'll
go.
you
just hold it.
horizontal. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, much better. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that works
you
better.
were kind of hearing the conversation, about how the East Coast is dominating right now, as far
Yeah,
as
right on.
metal, metal and hard rock. There's so many great bands out there, and I'm really excited about the East Coast presence. Even I just came back from Nashville for a podcast convention, and let me tell you, Tennessee, man, is catching up to you guys. There's some great metal coming out of Nashville.
Really?
It's awesome. I mean, it's all
That is
good. You know,
cool.
I like the fact that just rock and metal is just kind of making a resurgence again. You know, it's due, you know, and it's funny because we grew up on a lot of these bands that are now like resurging, like Deftones is a huge inspiration to us.
Oh
And we
yeah,
kids, you know,
yeah.
they were like and it's crazy how they're at the peak. They're the biggest they've ever been. I just went and saw them and they were at an arena and it was sold out. And there was
Yeah.
you know, got like people our age, but then there was like these young kids there, and they've completely exploded on TikTok, and that younger generation is now just eating up that sound, and that's why you're getting a lot of this. Like you're seeing this movement around even like Sleep Token and all that, and it's amazing. See, it's all great for the it's great for the whole genre, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Absolutely.
these bands coming out, like, say, from Nashville, Blackwood, an amazing metal band. You're going to hear a lot more from this band.
Oh,
Two,
I spoke with
oh,
them. I'm talking about helping them out with with the label
oh,
service, my company that I
dude,
work with. Yeah.
I'm friends with them. Let me tell you,
Oh,
they
nice.
did a showcase in Nashville.
Very cool.
They are amazing, but you guys are even more amazing. Your music is so timeless and so right on point right now. Like
Thank you.
one of my favorite tunes, Deception.
Oh,
What a
wow.
great tune. Like, how's your
Wow.
writing process? Who contributes, and like how's that going?
Wow. Well, that's an old song. That song is
I've been
from,
fans of you guys for a long time, so that's
yeah,
one of my songs.
that's from 2005, that record.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean our writing process it's evolved. It's you know, it's Derek who couldn't make it tonight. He's actually rehearsing. He's in like a new metal tribute act. So he's
Okay.
down.
Yeah, I just left practice.
Yeah, Edgar's in it as
Oh,
well. So
okay.
he took off to get on. But Derek, you know, primarily is really the foundation behind the music of this band. He's a great songwriter. He comes in with an instrumental, and then from there, it's you know typically you know a lot of historically it's been a lot of you know my melodies and lyrics that have been built off of that. You know, even though I'm the drummer, but I've had that you know just I have the ability. I hear something and I write and I sing on it. And then obviously we have whoever's singing at the time. You know, we've gone through multiple singers throughout the
Oh, of
years.
course. Yeah.
You know, and it's funny. Edgar's been the bass player, but he's also been the backup singer and sometimes the lead singer on some of the records throughout the years. And now he's the lead. But you know, now with the new process of how we write, Derek's coming to the table, and we also work with Sean Lichtenstein, who's one of our production and writing partners, who's in the band Lansdowne. He writes with Pop Evil. He's great, and he's also Johnny and I's business partner with Red 13. So we have kind of like this like very family structure where you know they're working on the instrumentals, and then I'll come in with usually an idea for the song lyrically and start there, and then we're all kind of contributing. Edgar will throw his piece in. We got another writer that we work with, who's a great friend. He was a roadie who turned into a writer now. Is Zach Amash. Johnny's you know adding input now as well. He's kind of throwing guitar parts and even melody ideas.
Right.
So it's fun. You know, it's a lot of it's not so cut and dry where it's just Derek and me anymore. It's everyone's kind of coming to the table, and it creates you know a better product, I think. And I love the newer you know the new music we've been putting out with Catalyst. Those three songs we got, and then we have a new one dropping on June 6th called Victim.
Oh, great. Because I also like Don't Tell Them. That's a great song. That's your
Don't tell him was cool.
Yeah, Don't Tell Them is like it's a cover. It's a cover of the rap song.
See, I wouldn't
Um,
even have thought of that because you guys made it your own.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's completely different. Yeah, it's got a vibe to it for sure. It's funny because like there was like a big split in the fan base that absolutely loved it and some people hated it. It's so funny. And so, you
Right.
know,
You
that's
can't
one of
please,
the
let me tell you, you can't please everybody out there. You know, it's staying true to the band, staying true to yourselves, you know. And
yeah.
I think you can thank COVID for a lot of how bands are interacting and doing business now
For
because
sure.
they're in other bands, they're collaborating with other people, but they're still staying true to themselves.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean we enjoy that song a lot. We're actually looking to potentially add that into the set list for the June 28th show we got coming up at Wally's, which is we do two big shows a year locally here, north of Boston, and they're at Wally's in Hampton Beach, and this, is our summer kickoff. I think it's got to be almost like our 16th or 17th annual
Yes,
summer kickoff show
definitely.
at this point, and it packs out. It's usually a sellout. And we got our great friends is a band called Shallow Side that are, we have a
Oh
great
my God,
relationship.
Shallow Side. What a
Yeah.
great band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're awesome.
McIntyre. What a great individual. You know her, right? I'm sure you
Who
do.
is it? Who is
Dawn
it?
McIntyre. She was a part of Massive Media.
I
She's
don't
I'm
know.
kind
not
of
sure.
connected with them a little bit, but anyway, uh,
Yeah, we've known Shallow Side forever. We kind of
yeah,
put them under our wing on the road when they first emerged, and then with my production company, we actually, I co-wrote and produced a number of those songs with them off of the one record, or it
another
was.
great,
Yeah, it
strong
was one.
band for
Yeah, yeah, they're great. So we got them coming up, and then we have another band out in New York coming up, which is called Blame Shift. They're awesome as well. I don't know
Yeah,
if
they're
you've heard
great
of
too.
them. They've been kind of on a hiatus. They actually the guitar player and singer, um, they're a couple, and they launched a company called Strung, which is like the guitar strings bracelets that you can
Netflix.
find.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they have like the picks and all of that, and they're the strings from the actual bands that are playing. And that like took off, and so they've been focusing
God,
on that.
they're
Um,
Yeah.
great. I mean, they've got like, if they thought of that, perfect timing for them.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
right.
they're
Yeah.
crushing it. They just got to deal with the Hard Rock Cafe, so it's big for them, and so they've kind of been on a hiatus because they've been busy with that. But now we got them coming out for the show. It's my birthday weekend, so I wanted to get all my friends up there.
Oh, happy birthday, Mark.
Thank you. Yeah, well, it'll be June 20. My birthday is the 27th, June 27th. The show's the 28th. And
Right.
we also have Chasing the Devil, which you should check out. They're a local band
Okay.
from the area here, but actually I got them on a tour with Shallow Side and Shim from Sick Puppies earlier
Okay.
last year. So
Yeah,
there's
very
someone you can
cool.
check out as well.
So how did you guys come up with the I'm sure it's East Coast driven, but Prospect Hill, how did that come about when you named the band?
Well, we're pretty much all originating from a city called Lawrence, Massachusetts, and there's an
Okay.
area in it called Prospect Hill.
Right.
Where I lived, Edgar lived, Johnny lived basically, right around the corner, and then Derek lived as well. So we're all, from that area, went to school, grew up. It's, we're Lawrence is kind of like the hood, one of the hood areas of Massachusetts. You know what I mean? So it's like it's super like Dominican, Puerto Rican. It's a bunch of, it's a bunch of Edgars running around, so. It's super like cultural. You go to the barber shop and you got like merengue and bachata banging out, and it's not, and you got pastelitos on the corner at the bodega. So it's a different place. It's not like, it's different than like Chicago or Vegas.
Right, right. But you're still going to have some great metalcore coming out of that area.
Well,
So,
it's
Yeah.
funny because like growing up, like being one of the only white kids in the school, there wasn't many people into rock and metal, and
right.
so it was Derek and I kind of gravitated towards each other as friends on a mutual relationship of like we both liked Korn, we loved Disturbed, and so
Yeah.
that's how we became friends, and then we played like talent shows, and and that's kind of how we built, everything up, and we ended up basically, taking friends, all of ours, every single one of our close friends was in the band at one point. We made them pick up a bass guitar or a guitar and play. And so Edgar, that's kind of how Edgar jumped in too, because Edgar was a friend and he was watching us jam when we were in high school in my parents' garage. And he's like, you know what? I can play bass. I got one at home. And I'll let Edgar tell that story, which is really great.
We're going to get to you, Edgar, but I want to get to Johnny here. Johnny, what is your take on what's going on with this band right now? Because you guys are blowing up.
I love it. I think it's great. Edgar stepped up to be the lead singer, and he's been crushing it. And just the vibes overall have just been great between everyone. Everyone gets along. We're all doing our work. We're all, making sure the things we need to do get done and keep propelling the band forward. So yeah, it's cool. It's a new era for Prospect Hill, and we're all taking it head on and driving it forward.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are just blowing up, man. I mean, this is your year, 2025, 26. Like
Yeah.
this is it. Edgar, let's talk to you. What is
Hi.
your hi? What is your take on what's going on in metal right now?
Oh, I love it. The resurgence is what we needed. I mean, it's for a while it was just like no music had guitars in it. You know, it just felt very cookie cutter, overly produced music,
Right,
and so it was kind of shocking to just see the cyclical nature of music and fashion and everything kind of come back around. I start seeing mom or dad jeans and like jinkos, and then people
right.
wearing studded necklaces and stuff, and
Yeah, the
um
90s stuff's coming back.
yeah, it's all coming back. So that's really exciting. And we've been around for a while, so we have multi-generational fans.
Right.
We have people that were young fans who had kids who exposed the kids to the music, and now the kids are coming to shows, and like so that's cool to see that bloom, and multiply, and just our biggest influences blowing back up, like Limp Bizkit, all these bands. Mudvayne was one of my favorites.
Tell you
So
something. A little side story about Limp Bizkit. I have been a Limp Bizkit fan since the first record. Okay, this is before Nuki and all that other
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
listen, my friends and I used to come to Vegas. This is before I lived here, and we rented a convertible. And that record came out the same week we were there.
Nice.
Took that CD, blasted it down Las Vegas Boulevard. I mean, it was, let me tell you, Limp Bizkit was it, man.
Three
Yeah.
dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Pollution, stuck, all that
Stock,
stuff.
counterfeit,
Faith.
It's
faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
great
Yeah,
to see them
counterfeit.
make
Yep.
a comeback.
Yeah,
Um,
they've been crushing it too.
yeah,
Yeah,
they filmed Nookie in Chicago.
oh
Oh,
yeah.
really?
They
Yeah.
filmed that video here. They actually had a casting call for 300 girls, girls only. They had to come in jeans and white t-shirts.
I remember that. Yeah, I
Wow.
do
They
remember that.
they gave them the hats, and they didn't tell them what the audition was for. They just told them it was an open call for a video. Sure enough, that's when they did. I mean, it was like crazy. It
That's
was
cool.
so amazing.
That is cool.
That's cool, man. Fred's honestly, he's been a marketing genius, and he's propelled so many other bands. I don't think people realize that, but he's
Yeah,
propelled other bands.
stained, puddle of
Stain, Puddle
mud.
of Mud, like he's
Yeah.
responsible. I think even like Cold, I think might have been you signed them as well. Like,
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
yeah, he's and he's a survivor. Like they put out all these
Yeah,
different records, but and for a little while they got a lot of flack, and then all of a sudden now he's back, and it's great, and it's funny because we got a buddy that he's a guitar tech for them, and they so we know, like, I haven't seen it live yet, but they open with break stuff and they close with break stuff.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it is
right. I
cool.
mean, but your music is so like kind of in that genre of the Limp Bizkit, the Disturbed. I mean, but like I said, I was telling Mark, you guys have your own sound though, Edgar. And you guys are making it your own. You're getting a whole new generation of fans, which I think is pretty incredible. And these people, when they tell me rock is dead, I'm like, get out of my face, because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
not going anywhere.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
anything, it's got a lot of life back into it. Right now, I feel like it's
Right.
on the trajectory back up, and I think was it yesterday that Derek sent that in the group chat that Sleep Token took the #1 spot on the top Billboard over like every major pop
over the
artist
world, yeah, it
over
was a
the
bunch.
Yeah.
world. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
It's
was
amazing.
like everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I love how they're busting out like 7-minute songs. It's just like works of art. The radio format doesn't justify like what you have to, the
Let's
format
say,
you have to take.
yeah, let's
Right.
say this. What radio format?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
And let me
Right.
tell you, Cirrus is kind of going off the kilter a little bit.
yeah.
I'm not real happy with Cirrus. I actually dropped them. And you know what? I'm not happy with that. Spotify is really opening up for a lot of bands to get their music out there. And, it's coming back and it's going to be in their face.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. I mean, there's so many bands finally like popping up. It was almost like there was like kind of a dead spot where there was like no bands, there was no scene, and even here in New England, it was like we were, kind of holding it down for a little while, and now there's a big resurgence, and there's all these new bands, and there's a scene rebrewing, and it's great to see, and the rock. This is the I think this is the trajectory back up for rock. You
Yeah,
know?
like I
Right.
said, 25 and 26, you're going to see so much happening.
Oh yeah.
It's already happening now. I mean, you guys are seeing now. Are you guys going to be playing a lot of like festivals,
So
multi-band shows?
yeah, so the whole plan for us right now is we're going to be releasing Victim on the 6th. We got the show at Wally's. And then from there, we go and lock ourselves away in July for a week to finish all of the songs that we have basically in the catalog. Enough of them to put out enough releases pretty much every 5 to 6 weeks,
Wow.
starting in August, right? So we'll have a new single out that's going to basically, waterfall into an album. And so this whole year is going to be a lot of setup and a lot of strategy so that next year we hit the festival circuit. We jump on maybe a couple different tours, and be back out there nationally. And maybe there's some potential discussion of maybe going out to Europe with Lansdowne right now. But everything, this is like the setup year. Like last year was the year
Yeah.
where, hey, we're back. This is the setup year, and then next year is the year where we really set it on fire.
Yeah. You guys are really strategizing it right, making sure you have all your ducks in a row, and you guys are going to hit it hard in 26. Because I mean, this has been a crazy year for metal and rock. I mean, it's coming back hard. I mean, I'm getting seriously, I'm getting DMs from bands. I'm booked all the way up
It's
until
amazing.
probably the end of July, early August. I
Wow,
mean,
that's awesome.
there's so many bands that want to get exposure, and I love it because yeah, you're gonna get exposure. Who else is doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some podcasters out in Nashville. There's some national shows. My friend John Verno, I don't know if you know him, Metal Mayhem from upstate New York. He has
Oh,
his
maybe.
show as well.
Sounds familiar. Yeah, we'll have to
Yeah,
check
I
him
can
out for
connect
sure.
you guys with him as well. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
please do. We love it. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk to anyone, right? We
Yeah.
love it.
We'd love to
Anyone.
get you guys out there live in front of people
Yeah.
because once they see you guys play live and you're all connected together on stage, it makes a world of difference. I mean, listening
Yeah.
to Spotify is great, but until you see something live in your face, that's where it's going to make the impact.
Yeah, yeah, and I think
Absolutely.
that's where we've gained our notoriety, especially on the national level. Even with a lot of the bigger bands, like they all they knew that Prospect Hill, they're going on stage, they're going out to kick everyone's ass, right? And that
Oh,
was like
yeah.
that's what we built our reputation on, and it was like so that's always been the foundation of this band, where we are performers first and foremost, and we go out and we there was at one point we were playing over 200 shows a year, right? And so it
Right.
was like a grind for years and years to the point where like we just have it down now, and it's like it's something that's just in us, and it's a I think that's a skill that if a lot of the newer bands, because there's not a lot of live show opportunities, but it's starting to come back again. But once they get there, that's really when things are going to start to thrive, when there's five bands on a show, or four bands on a show, especially on a local level, and all of them are kicking ass. That's when the scene starts to thrive, you
Yeah.
know
I
Right.
mean, seriously, because I saw a couple showcases when I was in Nashville, and man, let me tell you, these bands are ready. They're ready to hit it.
Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah, for sure. What's your thoughts, Johnny, on this upcoming few shows?
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm pumped to get out there and play. This will be what, our third show with Edgar singing.
Yep, third
Um,
show. Yep.
yeah, so it'll be good. You know, get everything, we're getting everything prepped right now for the show. Lansdowne just recently had a show and it was killer. And yeah, we're gonna bring the same energy and we'll have a lot of the same cool stuff that they had going. Um, like visual wise
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the big things. Like what Johnny's saying is we're gonna have a like a whole new stage production. And, basically we're like a family band between us and Lansdowne. So it's like we share a lot of stuff. We even, share members at times. And so,
Yeah.
you know,
Hey,
we're,
whatever you
we're,
gotta do, man.
Yeah,
whatever
it
you need,
works.
right? And so like the new production that we're going to be building out is, and we kind of started running some of it last weekend with Lansdowne is, having the LED screens and having the geysers where they're shooting up the fog and, and having the enhanced lighting, which we've been doing, but now we're going to kind of step it up even more. So we're really raising the production of the show. That's one of the elements too. And then having the ability to take that on the road with us,
Yeah, and let me tell you, that's what we want to see. As a fan of rock for forever. When I go see a band, man, the visual now is so important, just as the songs are. You know, to the
Yeah.
interpretation. So yeah, I mean that's a huge part.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, it
that's one of
enhances
the things
it.
we're working on too, So we want to make sure that we step that up and then put that on the road.
How about you, Edgar? Are you ready for this? Because you
Oh
guys
yeah.
did a lot of stuff.
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, I'm so used to it.
Yeah.
Being up on stage is like, it ignites my alter ego, and I'm able to just let loose and enjoy myself. And being with my friends on stage is like the most special thing, special moments I can have. So,
Oh yeah.
the first show was a little nerve wracking. The second show a little bit, but yeah, just doing the damn thing and having a good time.
Yeah, and remember these memories because once you guys are on tour with a major act, you're going to look back at this and say it was worth it.
Oh
Every
yeah.
single lick,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah, we've paid quite a few dues over the
Yeah.
years. I
For
mean,
sure.
And now it's your
we've
time.
yeah, we've hit the pavement pretty hard
Yeah.
throughout our 20s, and now we're all breaching 40, but we still feel young. We're still energized and
You're still,
inspired.
trust me, there's guys in metal bands that I met that are almost 60,
Oh
60
yeah,
plus.
Right, still
They're
going.
still doing it, man.
Yeah, it's
Age has
awesome.
no boundary now when it
well,
comes to
100%.
this genre.
what's good is like, we did tour nationally for so many years before we took like a little bit of a hiatus. And we had, a big we had a big momentum shift when we finally did sign a deal at one point and the deal basically collapsed, right? It was like a situation with the label where the money just disappeared and we had a song at radio. And we were very lucky because of what we did for years while we were on the road. We would go and make relationship with the radio stations. We'd stop in at the morning, we bring them coffee and donuts, we bring them pizzas for lunch, right? So the
Yeah,
radio stations really got behind us on our single Come Alive when we put it
yeah,
out. And even without the radio team, when the whole the label collapsed and the radio team had to walk and all the money was gone for the promotion, the song still broke, number 38 at mainstream Billboard
yeah.
and then we at number 42, I believe, at Active Rock and Sirius XM at the time, Octane picked it up and was spinning the hell out of it. So it was really great. And at that same time, we were out on tour with like Taproot and who are great friends with us, and it was and 12 Stones at the time, who's also
Yeah.
making a big resurgence
Great
right now.
oh
band.
It's
yeah.
really great to
Yeah,
see
Yeah.
Paul back out there. I'm really, really happy for him. But it's like, that era was so great and we were just there at the cusp and a lot of that stuff kind of knocked us down, but we also had a lot of internal issues going on within the band. But
right.
now it's like all of that stuff is cleared, our mindsets are
Exactly.
completely different, and we actually are in a situation where we don't need a label anymore. And so we have the ability to kind of run this thing ourselves and really, scale it. And there's no internal strife anymore. It's very easy. Everything is
Right.
super easy internally. That's what's
And
great.
that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
You know? And like I said, you're gaining a whole new audience with your music, your performances. I mean, I'm so grateful that I got a chance to talk to you guys before you became huge and I can't get a hold of you.
Oh yeah. Well, you'll always be able to get a hold of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But thanks for coming on. Before I let you go, why don't you tell everybody your socials where they
yep.
can find out more about your band?
Yeah, they can find us on Instagram, just at Prospect Hill. I believe Facebook is Prospect Hill Music. YouTube is Prospect Hill. TikTok is Prospect Hill. So it's very easy to find us. It's all at Prospect Hill. And then we have a website, prospecthillband.com, and that's where you can get updates on, new releases, music, and then we also have our merchandise up there as well.
Right. What, Mark, why don't you tell us the few shows that you have going on, and so if people are in your area, they can find you.
So right now we got June 28th at Wally's in Hampton Beach. That's with Shallow Side, Blame Shift, Jason the Devil, and DJ Chris Drake. So that's going to be a really great one. We're working on one in the summer for Maine. We haven't announced that yet, so we're working on that. That's going to be, hopefully announced within a couple weeks. And then we also have the Halloween show we do every year, which will also be back at Wally's. And there's some talks of maybe going out on a run right now with Lansdowne and one other band and hitting maybe down the East Coast and maybe into the Midwest. So we're going to be actually doing a conference call this week about getting that
Nice.
set up. So that should be something, even if it's a quick like 1 week, 2 week run, just to kind of hit some of the markets that have been asking for us back. So we'll hopefully we'll be announcing some more shows within the next couple of weeks, if not month.
Yeah, I want you to keep in touch with me and let me know what's going on with the shows and the record, and then we're going to catch back up and do a follow-up sometime in the fall.
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
really want to catch up with you guys and see what's happening. So thank you guys for coming on. And
Thank you.
hopefully you're going to get some new fans
Thanks so
from
much.
the show. And
I'll make sure to send you a copy too of
Okay.
Victim, the new release that's coming out in on June 6th
yeah,
ahead of time, so you can get a preview.
yeah,
All right.
definitely. And you guys, it was great talking to you. Thanks, Edgar. Thanks, Johnny. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
And we will be talking soon. And good luck in this week with the shows coming up or in the next couple weeks. And I'm sure you guys are going to kill it.
Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Yeah. Have a
Take
great
care.
night.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, Prospect Hill. This band is going to be hitting hard in the next few months. You're going to hear a lot more about this band. So definitely, when you get a chance, check it out. This is the Vegas Rock Goddess. Always like and subscribe to On the Rocks, because you never know who I will be interviewing next.